Hi, thank you for IPIT Asia Winter School 2022 for organizing this event. And I'm Gary Law, a PhD candidate now in University of Technology Sarawak, as well as a colleague of Associate Professor Dr. Tarik Saman. Yeah, so today I will be presenting my talk about ICT4D, Broadband over Powerline, means that information communication technology for development, which is involve a technology called Broadband over Powerline, which we did it in Bawang Asan, Cebu, which is I will talk more later in the presentation. Yeah, so this is a project actually involve assess the Advanced Center for Sustainable Economy, Social Economy and Technological Development, University Technology Sarawak, University of Technology Sarawak, is a Tata Sonic Group Berhad, Sarawak Energy, and also Sakofa as a internet service provider. So just to give a background of myself, so I started off as students in UNIMAS, University Malaysia Sarawak in 2002, which is where the first time I'm involved in ICT for Development project, which I've been sent to Barrio for 10 days to do data gathering, and also at the same time after data gathering to develop a tourism website, which is to promote tourism for the people from other side of the world to know where is Barrio and go to visit Barrio. So this started in 2002. Then I become a project manager in 2008. When I come back to do my master in University of Malaysia Sarawak. This is where I do involve in the replication of telecenters. So telecenters in the short term is basically putting a internet center or a cyber cafe into the rural area. Means that in the village, when there is no internet connection or limited internet connection, there will be a place which is a common use for the community to come in and use internet. So this is where the replication started, and I worked as an IT project manager at the time. And also this is the time that I meet Dr. Tarik as well as my colleague in UNIMAS. Yeah, then moving forward to 2010, which is where we involved with a community broadband center, which is something that we provide training for the manager and the assistant to do a lot of this type of some sort like a telecenter, but is operated and owned fully by the government. So there's a manager and there's an assistant who's running the broadband center. So what we do is that we provide them training, how to do engagement with the community, what to do when the community come into the center and what to teach them, especially on IT, because those are areas that when this broadband center is set up, the community do not know much about internet. They do not know much about computer. This is where we're coming in to bridge the digital divide gap. So in 2012, we're moving on forward to replicate more telecenters, okay, where UNIMAS actually given a chance to replicate another 4 sites in West Malaysia. So I'm actually in Sarawak, Borneo, the Borneo Island. So West Malaysia is on the other side, the Kuala Lumpur, the Singapore side, we call it on the west side, we're on the east side. So the west side actually also have a lot of indigenous people. So which is also, they have a problem of internet connection. They don't have any much access to, communications. So this is where we're proposing to do telecenter for the orang asli. The indigenous people in West Malaysia, we normally call them orang asli. So this project also doing the same thing. What we do is that basically we want to replicate, we want to do this cyber cafe, some sort like a cyber cafe type of setup to put it into to the community so that they can use it. Yeah. Then in 2014, I moved forward in my career. I moved to University of Technology Sarawak, UTS. This is where in 2018, I started to involve in a project called Broadband over Powerline. This is where the first time that we're trying to bring technology into the longhouse, into the the place where the community is staying. Okay, longhouse is basically a really later we can show you a photo, then it will be a little bit more clear. And moving forward in my PhD study as well, I'm looking at community networks, which is where we want to move forward. We want the network to be actually owned by the community, and the community have the right to really, ask for those benefits for it. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, I'm from ASET. This is all the research center in UTS. I'm actually working Elias as a member to this research center, which is led by Associate Professor Dr. Tariq at one Center for Sustainable Social Economy and Technological Development, ASET. Okay, so here is to just mention a few. This is what happened when we put in internet. When we do ICT for development, ICT4D in rural area. So we basically putting internet, for the first time for the villagers, for the community to use the internet. And basically, this is some coverage that we got from the media, how people actually leverage on internet to promote homestay, how they actually leverage on the internet to do a lot of, we call it promotional programs, to bring in visitors, to bring in tourists so that to increase their income. Yeah. So the community project basically started in 2014, which is when I started to join UTS. So basically, when we first started the project, I went down to the village. We can see that there's a lot of homestay. Homestay is some sort like, there is a family, they have their own house, and they open up the house to receive tourists to stay with them. So this is the concept of homestay. Besides, staying to enjoying the scenery, the environment of the place, they also got a chance to experience the culture, to experience the language, to experience the food, staying together with the community in the longhouse. So this is a longhouse community. I will show you the picture of a longhouse later on. So basically, when we started the project, the engagement side, we trying to look at ways how to enable homestay operator to go online, because they have a limited connectivity. This is where we thought of like using the existing internet center, which is already in Bawah Asan starting 2013. Okay, and why not we use it for training and let them, to promote the homestay online? This is actually the initial idea. So to show you where is Bawah Asan, okay, Bawah Asan basically is in the Borneo Island. This is Borneo Island, and Bawah Asan is just about 30 kilometers away from the Cebu town. Okay, Cebu is the main town, and Bawah Asan is actually approximately 30 kilometers away from it. So how to reach there? You need to take a flight from KL to Cebu, from Kuala Lumpur to Cebu, and you need a 1 hour drive from Cebu airport to reach Bawah Asan, the longhouse. So this is how the setting of the longhouse is, like a terrace house, but they all stay together and sharing the whole area together, and only have certain doors they are keeping the families. Means that every family will stay in a room, they call it doors, but all the public area is shared by everyone in the longhouse. So sometimes when we go down to Bawah Asan, we are encountering floods because the area is very near to the river. The river is called Patang Lebaan. So this is occasionally occur, which is why the longhouse, you can see that they make it very tall. They make it very tall, high ground from the ground, so that it will not be flooded. So when we started to do this homestay, to bring them online, we interview a lot of Bawah Asan villagers. Yeah, you can see from the signboard there is all the all the longhouses are there. So TR means Toy Rumah, the headman. So all the longhouse is actually named by the headman. So we have Toy Rumah Anthony, Toy Rumah Thomas, Toy Rumah Peter, Toy Rumah Rosalind, Toy Rumah Abel, Toy Rumah Stanley, Toy Rumah Dennis. and also Tuan Rumah Jimbun and Tuan Rumah Michael. So we have around 9 of them in the area of Bawah Asan. And basically what we do is that we want to find out the time is when we do this ICT for development project. We want to enable these homestay people in all the longhouses, which is they have the homestay, to go online. How actually to put them online, and what we can do with them. So basically what we do, starting, we do a lot of interviews with the Bawah Asan villagers. We go down and actually, mingle around with them. We interview, looking for local champions actually. And at the same time, what we do, we collect need analysis from the community. Why we want to collect need analysis from the community? Because we want to know the structure. We want to know what is actually something that they need actually, that we can actually do something for the village in the longhouses. So this is Bawah Asan, just to show you a little bit more pictures. So Bawah Asan is a very nice place. Okay, sunset at the riverside, and this is a longhouse. If you take a look from the sky view, so this is how the longhouse look like, and you see all the longhouses here and there. This is about 9 longhouses along the river. Yeah. So this is also longhouse. Yeah. So this is one of the river. And this is a bigger river. We call it the Lebaan River, which is the junction of the Rejang River. So from the need analysis we done in 2015, what we want to do is that we want to try to gargle the needs, and also to know better what is actually happening in Bawah Asan. So what we do is that we capture the income and see how much they earn. They want to capture the education level, how many of them are actually educated, and how many of them actually is a lower education, and what we need to do for training and all those things. So what interesting thing also that we ask them is about internet. In 2015, just imagine in 2015, 16, when we do about a random survey about 60 or about 50 villages, we do a random survey, and 16 of them coming back to answer that they do not know what is internet. So we can see that, when they do not know internet, basically they will never use it. They will never know how actually they're going to empowered by it, to use it to do some development for themselves. If we add on the total of do not know and the number of not applicable, you basically get 28 out of 50 or 60. This is basically half of it. So basically it's a major problem. It's a major bridging digital divide gap problem here. Yeah. So it's just 5 years ago, before 2020, which is where the COVID happened. So you can imagine how is actually what is happening in Bawah Asan. So what is actually encourages is that the data showing that 39 of them actually they change, encourage development. They're actually very positive on changes. Means that they look at changes as something that encourage development. So this is something that actually motivates us to move forward with them. So what we did after that is that we bring in activities. We bring a lot of events, to the longhouses, to motivate the younger generations, especially those school children, and those who still study, or we call it those are the teenagers in the longhouse. So we organize drone workshop, to motivate them, to tell them that technology is good, something that you can see, and actually, you can feel it, how good actually technology can bring forward a lot of changes. So also what we do, we bring in 3D printing. So we show them how actually computer be used to do 3D printing. And what we do is that we print some of the 3D things to make it like a keychain for them, to show them that actually computer or technology is something that for development. So this is something that they come out, fasten your seatbelt, something that keychain that they develop themselves during the workshop. We let them print. And the last thing is that what we do is that we expose them to Raspberry Pi, just to give them a feel of how a small computer look like. If we connect to a sensor, how actually it can actually relay some information back to us. So this is some of the things that we expose all the youth and some of the we call it young generation type of community here. In the longhouse, you can see in the longhouse, this is inside the longhouse, where all the doors is at the right-hand side, but we are sharing the public area. This is the Wyai. In Iban, we call this area as Wyai. Wyai means it's a public area for everyone of us to share and use it together in the longhouse. So in 2018, this is where the smart partnership come in, where we come in with the broadband over Powerline, which is the opportunity come in to University of Technology Sarawak, Tata Sonic as the technology provider, Sarawak Energy as the electricity generator from the government. Sakofa is also as a internet service provider owned by the state government. So 4 entities come together and form a smart partnership to try to help, to bring internet to the longhouses in Bawah Asan. So the main objective is basically to test the broadband over Powerline. At the same time, we want to see ICT4 development to happen in Bawah Asan. So the technology basically utilizing the existing tower, nearby telephone tower, where he will beam microwave into the nearest, we call it power line, the nearest power line. This is where you can see the electric pole number 4, electric pole number 2, where the communication tower will beam the wave until to the electrical pole. So from the electrical pole, he will flow in, okay, I will show you another diagram here, the topology. From the electrical pole, he will go into the internet injection, where we'll inject the internet into the power line. Okay, when we inject the internet into the power line will bring the internet into the longhouse without using another type of cable, but using the existing power line. So what we do is that using the existing power line, all the equipment inside the longhouse, whenever there's electricity, we put up a modem, you can have internet. So this is how we look like physically. So basically from the tower, number 1, you beam into the to the electric pole and basically follow the power line and all the way go into the longhouse. Okay, so this is how the longhouse look like. And inside the longhouse, this is how we take the internet out. So all the electric power plug now is internet enabled. So what you need to do is basically to just plug into the power point, and with the modem power up, the Wi-Fi will be operating. So no other cable, but using the existing power line cable. So this is a technology that enables internet to bring into the longhouse that time. So what we do is after that, this is where we bring in our we call it ICT4 development stuff coming in. So what we do is that we co-create, we co-design together with the community. We sit together with them. Okay, we said that we need to bring Bawah Asan homestay online. So what we do is that we have a lot of community discussion, and basically we come together and design and come up with a tourism website for Bawah Asan, so that people from outside can surf bawahasan.com and know what is happening, and at the same time register themselves to come and visit Bawah Asan. Then the second project we did is basically to promote broadband power line as part of a tourist attraction. So what we did is that we bring other community or longhouses people from other community to come and explore themselves, to come and expose, how actually homestay been done and how we actually use internet to promote homestay. So this is another one. What we do is a very simple type of technology use, which we always use in our house in urban area, but we never think of in rural area. Is CCTV. So CCTV is basically a security surveillance. So what we do is basically through the interview with the community. Basically, the community say that a lot of time, the old folks or the senior people are staying in the long house. No one know what's happening. So what they do is that, why not we put CCTV into the longhouse with the broadband power line, internet is available, so that they can know what is happening in the longhouse. So this is what we did together with the community. This is part of our ICT4 development. This is something for them to really see the technology develop. The technologies can help them. Then what we do further on is that we collaborate with Cornell University for service learning. So we want to explore digital usage among the community. So what we do is we co-design together to provide digital solutions for the community. So with Cornell student and our UTS student, so this is what we did. we basically do a lot of IoT, using the PPL. So what we did is we do flood monitoring system. So what we do is that we put on monitoring sensor underneath the longhouse, and those community people will let us know, okay, where will be the first, the critical flooding area. So when we know where is the critical, we call it critical flooding area, we put the sensor there so that we can monitor. So we can see that, he will generate certain graph, when the flood water coming to hike up around 6 o'clock, then the resident will start to, okay, it's time for flooding. We need to move our motorbike, or we need to get our children back home, and all those things. So it's actually helping them, to monitor the flood situation, and also at the same time to understand the environment better. So what we actually gain from this research and development, or we call it the ICT for development research, sustainability of technology in terms of business and reliability is very important. Yeah, and what we want to do is that if we can replicate it, because it's a fast deployment, but we need to optimize the costing. This is the most challenging part, and we need to promote more decision making together with committee. Whereas we need to do some core design transcultural approach. Means that you cannot just pick a few community members and design the things. But we need a collective. We need a collective approach. We need a collective community approach where everyone can agree to use it and own it. This is where community networks will do the difference later on. So what will be the critical success factor in Bawah Asan? We can see that community participation is critical. Without the community help, this project will not end up successful. And we can see that local champions are key component in the success. Without them, basically no one is driving the project. So in all the ICT for development project, local champions is very important, because as a researcher or as an academician like us, we are not 24 hours staying in the village, but we need them, to do all those we call it using it, because they are the one who benefit from it. The smart partnership, where UTS, Sarawak Energy, Sakofa, and Tata Sonic actually benefit from each other. We come up with our own budget. This is where the smart partnership come up working nicely to all of us for a win-win strategy. Then what we also find out is that identifying the needs and the focus is very important, because we cannot do everything for development, but we can do certain things. So these are some of the focus we can do. And the digital ecosystem that co-design together is very important as well. Yeah. So during the COVID-19 in 2020, this is what happened from the creativity of the community, because of those people who study in the school, they don't have internet, so they are lacking of internet access. So what happened is that the community in the longhouse think that they need to do something to help. So what they do is that they open this one we call Pondot Internet. Pondot Internet means it's like a small internet hub, just an umbrella and a few tables and chairs, and let the student, to online, to use it to study, because this is something that really hit us hardly during the COVID pandemic at time. So moving forward, we are looking at community-based core design of community networks. This is something this is what my PhD is working on. We are looking on to give the rights for the community to participate in the design, also in the technology. We want them to co-create. We want them to co-own the technology together, and basically we just need them to understand what will be the model, what will be the 3D tangible model they understand, so that they can actually use it, to be trained digital literacy for, is some sort like, if they know what is actually happening, they can claim their right. So this is where we also want to print the 3D model, the tangible 3D model, so that we can teach the community about digital literacy, where to put the tower, where to put the Wi-Fi, so that they can actually use it, to their own benefits. This is actually what we are looking for in community-based core design. This is our moving forward strategy, and also this is also my PhD research. Yeah, and thank you very much for listening. And this is a presentation that we did, to let everyone know what is happening in Bawasan, and also this to show ICT for development as part of really a strategy that actually move forward development for the community. So thank you very much from the Bawasan community. Rakade Anil Kindau, the local champion that we always engage with in Bawasan, and also myself, Gary Law. Thank you very much.